Hi, welcome to our video tutorial. This is our last video tutorial in a file management project we have been doing for like 5 or 6 videos now. So in this last video, what we are going to do is we'll be given a folder, and we're going to list all the files in that folder, and also filter the files based on their extensions. So if the file is text file, PDF file, Word file, Excel file, or anything like that, we'll be able to filter the list of files based on the provided file extension. So for that, we'll add a few items in our design. Okay, so we'll have a text box to show the list of files. First, to make a choice about the file type or file extension to be listed here. And so when a user clicks this button, we're going to show the list of files here. So we'll make this one a little bit longer. Okay, so the name of this file is going to be txt file extension. Sorry, I think I've made a mistake. I think this is the correct syntax. Excuse me if I made a mistake. Okay, so this one, btn search file, and we're going to use this search file text in the text property of our button. And this button, this text box's name is going to be txt list of files, and its text is going to be empty. Now the code we are going to write is what it does is, on the click event of this button, we're going to search for any file with an extension given here from the folder provided in here, and list all the files found here. So the file names will be listed in this text box. Okay, so let's create a mouse click event, and everything will be written inside here. Okay, so first we have to provide the folder that we are looking for our files into. So let's create a file object, new file, and here we don't have to provide the file name, just the location. Okay, so txt location dot get text. Okay, so this file now is holding our folder. Actually, the object name is better to be folder. Now we have a specific folder, not a specific file. So what we are going to do is we're going to search for a file in this folder. The location is being provided in the txt location object in our design. Okay, so first let's check if the selected or the provided address is actually a directory. So folder dot is directory, we can use, spelling error, folder dot is directory. Now if this function returns true, what it does is it tests whether the file denoted by this abstract path name is a directory. So I'm looking for a directory or a folder. So if the location or the address that that's provided is actually a directory, so if directory is true, then I have a directory. So what I can do is I can read all the files in that directory and list the names. Let's do that first before going into extension filtering and everything. Okay, so folder dot, there's a function called list. It's going to return a string array, right? What the function does is it returns an array of strings naming the files and directories in the directory. So if there is a directory inside our directory, then the directory name is going to be provided. Now let's assume we only have files. Okay, so this function is going to return string array, so I'm going to accept that and put it in a variable called files. There. Now I can write the list of files in the text box we have added here. Its name is txt list of files. Let's try that now. So we're going to have a while loop. Sorry, actually it will be better if we use for loop. Int I equal to 0, I less than files dot length, so I plus plus. So this loop will give me all the files in the folder. Okay, so txt list of files dot set text. Okay, I'm going to use this code after the loop. So for the loop, let's create a simple string file names. Let's start it from empty, and here file names plus equal to, it's a concatenation, right? So file names plus equal to file dots files dots, okay, because we are using array, so files of I dots file name gets okay. So this is it, and now I think can't find, okay, maybe, yeah, the variable name is wrong. So finally I'll put the variable in the text box. Let's run our application, let's run our file and see what happens, and then we'll keep on adding. Okay, so let's provide the folder. We need to have a folder first, so this is our folder, and when I click search file, it will give me one file name. What if we have another file? Let's create a new additional file. Let's say it's an image. Okay, now when we click, saying new bitmap image.bmp and then sample text. Okay, now let's add another file. Okay, let's make it access document, and let's have a PowerPoint file. Okay, so now if we click, we'll have a list of files, but it has to be presented in a way that every file name has to be written in a new line. So while we are concatenating, we can add a new line syntax here. So let's try this first. Okay. I think it has to be like this. Let's try our syntax and we can come back. It's not a problem. Okay, so provide the folder and search file. Okay, the new line isn't working. Let's try something else. Okay, I think before we try to jump into our code, I think we have to fix our control too. We are using text field, and text field is by default, it's a single line control. So if we want to show content with multi-line, we have to use text area. So let's try this one. And the name is going to be, sure, let's copy this and give it as its name. Now let's run our application. Let's try, and then we can use a new line constant provided by Java. Okay, so let's take the folder location one more time. There you go. So this means that we have 4 files in the given folder, and all the files are being provided in the text box, which means we are able to read all the files in the given folder. Now what we are going to add is we are trying to filter the list of files based on a file extension being provided here. So let's try that now. It's just a simple if-else statement. So what we are going to do is we're going to check here in the loop before adding the file names, the file item, in appending it to the file names variable. We are going to check if that file is included in our file extension. So first thing we have to do, we have to capture the file extension from the given file. So we are going to do some string calculation. Okay, let's say okay, extension. Then we are I'm trying to read. I'm having trouble writing this this variable extension is not used. Okay, now extension files of I dot read substring. In substring I can only tell we have 2 options: tell me the beginning index, or tell me the beginning and ending index. Let's try to use the beginning index first, and the beginning index is going to be, let's say, if the file name is sample.txt, the file extension is going to start from dot, right? So to tell the substring that this is your beginning point to read the characters, I have to search for dots in the file name. So here I can do, let's make it simple. So integer index, the index I'm going to use here is dot index of full stop. Okay, so here start from index variable. Now this index variable will read, so it starts from dots, so the extension is going to be this one. So the variable extension is going to store txt, or in some cases, like if we are using access, the file extension is going to be like this. So it's 5 letters character. So all I need is starting index. After the starting index, everything is going to be provided. So now it will be a simple if statement. If txt file extension dot get text dot equals, this is how we're going to implement string comparison in Java. We have to use equal sign. So if this is true, then the file has the extension that we want. Let's try this one. Run file. So let's give it a folder. Sorry. Let's copy the folder address. and search for a file. Now we have nothing because we haven't written any extension, so it tries to get a file name with no extension. Let's try txt search file. What the hell? Dot. There you go. So the problem is it includes dot to the character as well. Let's try seccdb. We have one access database, so we'll get that access database. So there's a simple thing we can fix in our code to make sure that dot is not included in the comparison. So to do that, just add one here. Now extension is going to be a clear extension. Let's run our application and let's give it the folder name, and here search for txt, so we get it. Now let's try to create another txt file. Document. So in our application, if I click search file, I'm going to get two files. So this is how we can read list of files in a given folder, and also where we can try to compare or filter the list of values based on the extension being provided. Using this logic, you can implement other features in here as well, like searching a file using its file name, starting point of a file name, ending of a file name, or any file that contains txt in its file. So anything like that we can do using the string calculation here. Okay, so this is how to implement file searching in a directory using Java code. I hope things are clear. If you have any questions, comments, or any suggestions, or things we have missed, anything, please write it in the comment section below. And also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll get notifications about our upcoming videos. Thank you very much for watching.